Okay. Okay. All right. I'm 83 pounds out of 100.
As long as you make sure that anything that is loose does not exceed the amount that you have for storage.
I have two. Yeah. So I have 2 pouches.
Okay.
I have a backpack.
Then you're good. Yeah, there you go. Then you can use those to carry your bits and bobbles.
Yeah.
Bits and bobbles. All right, so we're looking pretty good there.
I do have one other question.
Yeah, please.
I stole a backpack, but I was never told what was in that backpack.
Ooh, yeah, you stole a backpack, and you didn't know what was in that backpack. So it is essentially a explorer's pack. So if you look up explorer's pack, you have access to any of that stuff. That it was a full explorer's pack with everything that's in here. So if you want to add any of this to your thing, you can. And the backpack, yeah, obviously is there. So you got this whole thing. Shouldn't be any problem.
All right, I guess I'm gonna walk up to somebody and sell this backpack.
Oh, you're just gonna sell it?
I already own the things in here, or we're not gonna need the things in here.
How much is an explorer's pack worth?
10 gold pieces.
So you could get 5 gold pieces from it, easy. Yeah, I think maybe like, oh man, huh? Yeah, okay, yeah, you sell it, no problem. 5 gold pieces. I think maybe you get an eye, just like, it's like I've seen this somewhere before. Like,
yeah, so maybe
that guy? Like, okay, whatever.
Maybe,
I'll take it.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll split up the items and sell them all individually.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And
an empty version of his backpack would be a lot less suspicious than a full one. Just like, hey, I just took this and now I'm to sell it.
Well, I am going to keep the backpack itself.
Oh, okay, yeah, sweet.
That I will keep.
Yeah. It's a good piece of equipment to have because it carries all your bits and bobbles.
And
so,
is it 10 copper per silver?
So here's something fucking cool. Click on your no, stop now. Click on your token. Click on your token.
Currency converter?
Currency converter is something that took a long time to make. So use
where is it?
Converter. It's on your token. If you click on your token, the button will show up at the top. It's the first button. It's called currency converter. You click it.
Might have broke it.
You get a window. It says whatever your amount is. No, it's good because sometimes it'll split. You have to understand that it'll split in a way. If you have an uneven number, it will split, and you have to round down, or you have to break up the currency that you were using properly. So if that was silver,
I googled a converter.
I know. I'm sorry. We have a converter in game because we will be dealing with small change. The second place that we are hitting is going to be the Temple of Joaquin. But yeah, if you convert down, you have to. And you have an odd number, you kind of have to do the math. It's rough. If you do it with copper, you just have to round down because there's nothing cheaper than copper.
Yeah.
But if you do it with silver, like if that was silver right now, it would be two silver and 5 copper pieces.
Well, so I messed up. I wrote SP in the first box. The second number there is the actual conversion. If you write any letters in there, it'll mess it up.
Okay, cool.
FYI.
Yeah, don't write letters in there. That's just a straight converter for whatever you're using, one to another. Just because every form of currency is 10 less than or 10 more than the one above it. Basically, they're all in 10s.
That's what I thought.
So it's only one math. It only does one math.
So here's what we do. All right.
Do we want to turn on the stream again? We're at 15.
Yeah, I started turning it on when people started asking questions, just in case.
All good. Go ahead, Kyle.
So, let's assume all of us have roughly 80 gold. That's 300-ish gold. That buys us a lot of hirelings. Now, these guys are going to be coming equipped with, a general gear, maybe a dagger. Dagger would be, we can expect a dagger. Some of them are going to have their grandfather's sword with ideas of adventure in their head, right? So we take this small army out into the jungle. They're going to get wasted. That's fine. Because if they die within the first 5 days of us hiring them, the money we make off of selling their clothes and items pays back for the people themselves.
Do you say this in front of Iku?
No.
Okay. Because she would not be cool with that.
No.
Pretty sure we'd get a bad rap with Jabal.
Oh, I have to set Iku's loyalty score right now.
I guess depending on who you talk to, they would actually be like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I gotta set her loyalty score right now. Cool. I got her loyalty.
My comeback for poor Iku would be, what does it matter to you? You never come back with them anyway.
I mean, yeah, ooh, yeah, that might...
If your reputation speaks anything to what actually happens.
Ooh. Yeah,
but
that's some ammo for her for later, definitely.
If we're playing again, though, I still need my pack inspected.
Okay, yeah.
Though I'm pretty sure after everything everybody has already had done, I'm not going to have anything new, just for a couple items.
Okay, I'll have her just sort of look it down. Let's do the last one. I won't mention every single thing. Let's see what.
People playing with the currency converter.
Yeah.
I also am gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Go for it. You're good. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I did not expect that. All right. Let's see. Okay. Good. Oh. A clean person. Oh, nice. Nice. Ooh. Okay. All right. I won't ask what these are for, but I'm sure they're for something smart. Go. All right. Ooh. That's not a lot of rations. You trust in your forging skills?
I'm familiar with feeding myself. It shouldn't be needed unless for emergencies.
She says, I respect that. Good. That's... yes, yes. Oh. Oh, this is smart. She pulls out the hunting trap. Sort of looks at the hunting trap, I think, and she just says, this could come of some use. Maybe if we are feeling particularly hungry and you wish to catch something large, well, it could be definitely useful. She keeps going. She says, yep, everything checks out here. Looks good.
All right. I am also going to take the 30 gold out of my pouch, and I'm going to hand it to her. I feel like an apology is in order. I am not familiar with how this process works, and I assumed we were just going to meet you on the morrow at the city gates to lead us. I didn't want to just give you our money and then have you not show up the next day.
Ah, yes. I understand. There are no hard feelings. She says, I saw it as an act of trust, and I wish to pull through. No, I usually plan to stay quite close to my... would you guys be her patrons? Yes. So I plan to always stay close to my patrons and to those I wish to keep safe. You have employed me, and so far 2 of you have paid me, and I imagine the rest will follow suit. Says I do my job very well, and I respect your caution. It is something that you'll definitely need out in the jungle. I just hope it translates over quite easily. And she says, again, don't worry about it. I was not offended.
I'm not going to mention it, but there is 5 more gold in there than what I was supposed to pay her.
Oh, yeah, is there?
Yeah.
I don't think she's counted it yet, but she might come to that. She might come to a conclusion on that one a little bit later. I think she's just taking it just because she's not going to openly count too much coin when she's not standing in her merchant stall.
It's kind of rude to count money in front of the people who just gave you money. So
yeah. She puts it away in her pack, and she's just like, for the temple when we get there. Thank you.
I tell her that I'm gonna pay her at the Hall of Gold, because that way I don't have to hand her large amounts of coins. I can hand her small amounts of coins.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Wait, pay her the 30 gold and copper.
She said she was going to take all the money you gave her and give it to charity, so she might appreciate that. You don't know. Excellent. So when you are done, go ahead and just write something in chat. Write done or something when you know, like, I'm done shopping. That way I can see who's done shopping.
How much does salve weigh?
Weigh? And since that is a weightless item, it's too small to actually count towards weight.
Oh, I'm gonna buy 2.
I am finished, and I am going to go fetch a beverage.
And she says, "You're going to go get Tej." She says, "I would like to come with you if you would wait just a moment. I would like to get a drink as well."
That reminds me. I need incense. I need repellent.
She says, "Oh, you did not get any. Yes, you are going to want that."
And you said I checked out.
Probably want the other stuff.
And she's like, "Oh, you're right." And she says, "I should have said something to you." She says, "We can't all be perfect."
Is that in the compendium? No, it's not.
No, it's
How
not
much is it per unit? Does anybody know?
You guys know?
If you want the salve, it's a gold.
I'm getting the
incense
salve.
is cheaper.
Yeah, it's
I
on
will.
the tile.
This is a really important
Perfect,
thing.
thank you.
The salve is waterproof. Salve is waterproof.
Yeah, I caught that.
The incense seems to be an overnight thing.
Which maybe someone might get.
I'm actually gonna buy both.
I'm getting. Yeah, I got both as well.
Smart.
Oh,
Very smart.
War.
Yes.
I have a gift for you. And then I am going to, in very much Wheel of Fortune manner, display my arms to this wonderful canoe that happens to just be colored just like his shell. Look, I found a new home for you to carry.
Oh my god! Yeah, you got this whole fucking canoe. Oh.
War like looks from you to the canoe to you, and then just starts going.
She says, "We will." I think Iko would definitely. She says, "That is a smart idea. We will talk of it later when we are in the privacy of the jungle. But that is going to be a useful thing." And she points at the canoe.
Did you actually buy that?
Yes, I'm actually buying that, and it hurts.
50 gold. Oh,
It's okay. I do not need money where we are going.
This is crazy to me because like
It has a weight too, so you gotta. If someone's gonna carry it,
That's why I pulled War over.
Jacob,
War.
how much strength do you have?
A lot.
Listen, he could probably carry at least 160 pounds. So at least I don't
Yeah, I don't know what
could
it
be
is.
18.
the
going
weight
through
isn't
stuff
on
with
here. It's 50 pounds. Sorry.
Asteria looks at the canoe and gets a little green.
Oh, a little green. Oh. Oh boy, yeah.
And then I need to lose. Yeah, this is like. I shouldn't say it out in the middle of Bazaar, so I'm not gonna say anything in player either.
I get you.
All right.
Remember to put done in when you're done for sure. Josh, you still with us? I haven't heard you in a while.
Yeah, I'm calculating. I'm kind of undoing my shit and then trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I sold a couple things full price, so I had to go back and.
Yep, just gotta cut them. Gotta cut them down. All good. All good. Yeah, this is a fun part of this adventure. Buying and selling of things is cool because we bookkeep all of these little things, so they all actually do something. If I forget anything, always remind me because like a lot of these are going to be daily spends, like the rations. I've got like notes and stuff, but I don't ever want to miss it.
So,
yep.
Is War able to carry a canoe around like that?
So he can. The thing about the canoe, carrying the canoe, it does take up his basically two-handed slot completely. Like he can't wield a weapon or anything while he has it, and he can carry it. Where he goes in the jungle with it, I would say he It's only 50 pounds as long as it doesn't exceed his weight limit on like how much he can carry on his character sheet. It will not impose any sort of disadvantage. If he's wielding a canoe in battle, like I mean, I might impose some disadvantages when we zoom into that. You'll have to drop that canoe a lot if you're on land, but
yeah.
Does it come with oars?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. I was like, we gotta buy the oars.
No, I don't even know if an oar is something you can purchase.
I
think it comes with.
Is the rain catcher in the compendium, you know?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. The special items are definitely not going to be in there, yeah. So 5 pounds for the rain catcher.
So I'm carrying that for the group.
I sold one of my 2 daggers, hempen rope, tinderbox, chainmail.
Nice.
Basically, I have barely enough to give her, and I'll have 116 silver and 400 copper, which is not very much.
She says you can convert that to gold in the temple if you want, or just give it to her in small change. It doesn't matter to her. War has paid. Riak has paid. We're waiting for a few others. Or no, not Riak. Riak hasn't paid. Asteria has paid.
Yeah, Riak is flying around now.
Wait, no, Asteria hasn't paid.
I might as well just pay.
Okay, yeah, you want to pay right now, you can.
30 up front, right?
Yep, just cut it up. Do you want to pay too, Velfine?
Yeah, I'll pay the
cut it up.
Gold pieces. Yeah.
Riak, are you gonna wait for the temple or pay now?
No, I will. I land in front of her and say, "Your money."
And I think she smiles gracefully and she just says, "Thank you. It will go to a very good cause." I think that's to everybody who just handed her money right now. She's like,
not when she says that. Riak might be a little wary of her, but the giving good fortune to others is something that makes her happy.
Yeah. She's like, these will go to mouths that need to be fed in the outer cities.
Can I do an insight check, see if she's full of shit?
You're just so nonchalant. I'm just so nonchalant. I want to roll and see if she's full of shit.
13. She is very truthful, very honest. You think that that's exactly what she's gonna do with this money. She's gonna give it away to charity. Your insight check tells you otherwise. She's earnest. She's either earnest or she's one of the best liars you've ever seen. And that might scare you. It's pretty great.
Still looking. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure.
I want everyone to take their time and be able to do exactly what they need to do. I'm okay with this putting a pause, because after we go out, I want you to have what you need.
I've sold everything. I bought everything.
Did anyone get the rain catchers?
I added one. Somebody bought them.
I bought one for him.
Okay.
I also can create water, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. How much can you make?
10 gallons per spell, but I have right now. I can only cast 2 spells a day per long rest.
Iku mentioned that if something were to not to wish it upon you, darling, but if something were to terribly happen to you, we would want a backup.
That's why we have a rain catcher.
Oh yes, if I died, they're bad.
And there's really nothing any of us could do if you decided to fly away and never come back.
That is not true. I would not fly away. Well, I could fly away, but I would.
How many gallons of water are we supposed to drink a day?
You are supposed to drink at least 2 gallons of water per day. If you're wearing heavy armor, you need twice that. Heavy or medium, you need twice that. So you need
a lot of water.
Yeah, you are working in a 90+ degree weather. You are going to be walking uphill. So
how big are water skins anyways?
Listen.
Water skins? Can they say how much they can carry right on them?
Listen. If you're wearing that heavy armor, put on a wool cloak over myself. The sweat would
You're gonna get 5. You're gonna get 6 levels of exhaustion before you can even.
Yeah.
Before you can even get out there. You're gonna die.
We need 10 gallons of water a day.
I just imagine.
Guys, I have horrible news. One water skin
4 pints.
holds 1/10 of a gallon.
Yep.
We need a lot of water skins.
That's a lot. Or a bucket.
I need a bandolier of water skins.
Or a bucket.
Riak can literally create the water in the bucket, and because it holds 8 gallons, and then like, if there's 2 of them in the party, or if there's something else, like you can just create it.
Oh, good. She can create water in a giant bucket for us to drink out of, like a trough.
Well,
Communal watering hole.
You can
That's
fill
fantastic.
your
Or you
water
could just
skins
take
out
the
of the
water
bucket.
skin and
You have those mess kits. Those have cups in them, don't they?
yeah.
Dip it in.
I just say, or you could just take your water skin and put it in the bucket.
And fill it, yeah. Says, we would be roughing it, so we'll have to deal with some luxuries going out the window.
Is someone else carrying a rain catcher then?
Is anyone else carrying a rain catcher or no?
We've only got one, right? If it rains, we're gonna want to catch twice that if anybody's gonna get any water.
Right.
I
Because
cannot afford
somebody's
it.
dead if we rely on a rain catcher.
Well, not dead, but they'll be suffering from dehydration. It won't be
No,
good.
dead. Somebody's dead.
Best to just say dead.
Yeah.
Valfine, you're gonna buy one?
I'm getting close to weight limit with my.
Yeah,
Might be
you don't
strong
have
for-
to. You don't have to.
I want to.
I know you
Is
do.
weight limit
I can buy it and
somewhere
give it to someone
on,
else.
Your weight limit is 10 times your strength.
Like the
Modifier?
What's your strength score? Yep.
Score? 17.
So it's 170 pounds that you
Okay.
can carry.
Okay.
See, I knew he'd be fine.
What's your weight? What's your weight right now, Jacob?
I'm carrying 97 with the one rain catcher.
What about with? Oh, you can manhandle that canoe and just be like, fine.
10
There's
times
also
your
the
strength, you
point
said?
that we don't necessarily need to use his spell slot to get water because it's a jungle, so there's going to be random pools of water everywhere, and he can use the ritual to purify random
Yeah,
pools of
I
water.
have
for
to
us.
too.
prepare those spells.
A lot of relying on Ryak. It's good. It's good.
I need to
Well,
ask the gods something.
The what? Do you want to ask something?
I need to ask the gods something.
The gods? Wait, I don't get it.
God or guard?
God.
Okay.
God. Oh, okay.
Oh, mysterious voice in the sky that narrates my life. I have 80.095 pounds, and I can carry only 80 pounds. Am I encumbered?
You are.
No.
If that number turns red, you're
Great.
encumbered.
It's World of Warcraft again, and I picked a fucking flower, and it's too much.
You picked the flower. It's too much. So wait. So what do we got? So you're. Let me see. Strength 80. It hasn't said you've hit encumbrance yet. I might actually be wrong. Let me see what the
My
base.
Yeah, can we
total-
double check that? Because mine hasn't turned red yet, and I can only carry.
It should be turning red. I'm gonna look up the real rules for encumbrance.
Okay, I'm going to buy 5,000 sling ammo, and we will see.
It also might be that your
character
sheets don't have it highlighted like they're supposed
Okay, yes. Now I am over
I'll
carrying
own
capacity
10
at 453 pounds.
Encumbrance, yeah. So there is a
Jesus.
thing. Encumbrance under lifting and carrying.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't say red. It will just say under it, over carrying capacity.
Carrying. Where's
Gosh.
carrying? Carrying.
I can carry more than I thought.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. What's
Player's
the
handbook.
lifting and
It's
carrying?
under the
176.
Strength area.
Yeah.
Strength score
is the
determines
page.
the weight you can bear. The following terms define what you can lift or carry. Carrying capacity is strength score multiplied by 15.
15.
15. Ah, that's why.
This is the
What
weight
ho,
in
gentle
pounds
douchebags!
that you can carry.
You can carry all of it.
So do I need less
means-
water if
that
I
means
cool my
more-
leather armor all
hold up.
day?
Hold up. That means War can carry 255 pounds.
All right, I have an idea. We buy a second canoe in case the first one breaks. We can carry
I'm gonna try to break that canoe. All right,
Quick, lash them to his arms. Dual-wielding shields.
Mechanically for you, Alex, you said if you cool your armor, will you have less dehydration? Unfortunately, no. The heat has more to do with it than anything, and I don't think you can constantly keep yourself cool enough for it not to affect you. And it's and mechanically speaking, that's just how the rule works. Two
Oh no,
gallons
I was just
or,
making a joke that I was just saying make air-conditioned armor.
Okay, so
1 gallon of water.
so I have one rain catcher. Somebody else has another one, right?
Does someone have another one? I don't think anyone said they took one.
How much do they weigh?
5 pounds.
I'm gonna take one. I'm still under my weight limit, but I want to make sure we have at least 2 of those.
Got it. Got it.
I still have to get incense and whatnot here.
That's that.
All right.
That's really cool. That. Yeah,
Everybody
that's,
got their insect repellent.
yeah, we
Hopefully.
did.
You know? Oh, sorry.
Group-wise, I've got some of the incense stuff, which works in like a 20-foot square.
Yeah.
Yep, 20-foot square radius.
And then sounded like somebody else had some of that too.
Yes, I've purchased 5 of the incense. No, 10. I think it was 10.
So it's good. One of them is good. It burns for 8 hours, right? So we don't all need to buy incense,
Right.
as long as we sleep nearby.
Oh, yep, I bought 5. Yes, the plan is that we can use the incense, and everyone does not need to be constantly salving themselves while they sleep.
Right.
Yeah. So Ed, for the salve, I'm gonna put like the number of uses that I have in the
Please.
quantity.
Because it does not have a weight, please do that
Yeah.
instead.
That will make it a little bit easier to manage.
By all means, because they don't hold any weight to them. So yeah, you're good.
Cool.
Ah, yes, that's good. It was 8 per thing? The self?
Salve
For
is
salves, 20 applications of odorless grease.
Alright. Cool.
It's 20 days. They're
The real
24
question
hours.
is, should I just buy a donkey and strap a barrel to it?
Oh my god.
Set up a barrel with a rain catcher on top.
If you bring that up, Iku says there are people who bring beasts of burden out into the jungle, but you have to remember that you have to feed and give them enough drink for that creature, which is probably going to be a lot more than any of us. So you have to take care of the animal as well. They can be a hindrance, but for sometimes good use if you plan on bringing something big back from the jungle.
And an emergency
Or
snack.
a camel with a barrel
That's
on
true.
it.
We'll
She's
probably
like,
be starting
you'll
with
be
scouting.
You'd be hard pressed to find a camel around here. It says dinosaurs are who you have to pick from for most. I think any case. I have not seen a camel in Chult, though that would be interesting.
How much does a raptor mount cost?
I believe you need to go over to the Ifan's stores. He's the one who sells these animals, I believe. What is available, I believe, will be there. Yeah, let me peek at their special
Holy
items.
shit!
I
it
think
costs so
250.
much.
I want to be a wizard on a war raptor.
We totally should have gotten those dwarves as our adventuring, as like as a player,
I think
just for
she's-
the Triceratops.
She's gonna mention that a raptor that you can ride, honey, would kill you quite quickly. Or it took you anywhere. They are quite small. They're used in races, but only if we have gnome or halfling visitors.
I knew I should have rolled a druid.
Roll.
So, just pointing it out there, I just thought of something really awesome.
Yeah.
So, Disciple of Life, every time I cast a spell, a first level spell or higher to restore. Well, actually, never mind. I don't think that.
It's all good. I got 2 people done on this list. Has anybody finished?
I'm done.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Go
I'm
ahead,
done.
West, when you're done.
Can I just bring up for a moment that our good turtle friend companion here could carry a cart or a chariot on his back?
Yeah, you could.
Imagine more like.
But that plus all the things in it.
Yeah, jeez.
All right, I weigh 90 pounds. A military saddle weighs 30 pounds.
I think we underestimate just how big war is. Like, let's scale. Like, when I draw him, I'll make this sure to scale him up if he makes it to level 30.
Yeah.
Make him huge. Make him huge.
Listen, I am not very big. We can make this work.
Josh, how you doing?
Almost done. I'm just
Almost
doing
done.
one
Anything
last
I can
one.
help you with?
I think not.
Okay, very, very cool. Yeah, your next stop, I will remind you, is the Hall of Gold. And she says, I believe there's also a fee for opening an account. So they will convert your money for a fee. And I believe if you wish to leave your gold there, I don't think it's too much. Maybe half a gold, 5 silver, to open an account with them. A little bit stingy, but they are a bank. I have never known a bank not to be looking after its own interests before it's those who use one.
I'm going to look at my much deflated bag. I don't think this is a problem for me anymore.
She says, spent all your gold, did you? Says,
I'm not going to need it where we're going.
No, you are not. And the Grand Souk can do that to you. Many folk have gone in and come out penniless, but with many things, I guarantee you. She says, you said that you would like to get a drink with me. There's a stall over here that's...
Already taken care of. I hand her one of the tej that I bought.
And she just says, well, thank you. Just for her and you?
Yeah, I'm not made of money. Not anymore.
He just says, thank you. And she'll cheers with you, take a sip, and then offer a sip to anyone else who wants one. Sort of like it's like a thing to share with the shopping party at the flea market. Who wants a drink?
War would probably be interested in taking a sip just to try it.
Yeah. So for those who are trying it, it's a honey rum. It has such a sweet, delicious taste to it, and it goes down so well, and it is just it's just good. Unless you think your character doesn't like honey, tej is a good drink, and it's this is the thing. You're used to like the like Baldur's Gate, like Sword Coast brew, and that's a very like like it's dwarven brew in most cases, and that's a very very heavy, very hefty, sort of focusing on the alcohol more than the flavor. And this is probably one of the most flavorful drinks you've ever tasted. It's really good. So yeah, she'll offer to anyone who wants a sip, and it looks like we're all just as Valfine finishes up, it looks like we're all here. We've purchased what you want. Valfine, would you like a drink?
Okay.
Yeah, she offers you a drink of tej. You sip that delicious honey rum. She says, well, before we go, if you want to have some out in the jungle, it's a small thing, but it could help your morale. Always good to buy a little bit. I believe they sell them in flasks.
I say, are you sure you want me to drink from your cup?
She says, if you're not on watch duty and it is at night, you can drink as much as you want, as long as you are going to be woken in the morning and not be dizzy.
He looks at the cup and then he looks at her. He starts to look.
Okay, calm down.
I'm totally buying a gallon of tej for our party.
You can plug a gallon of tej. Hell yeah. That's a good drink. All right, so
completely drunk.
She leads you guys away from the Grand Souk, and I will I'll take away our music here for a large crowd. The rain is still quite heavy right now. I think it picks back up even with Iku's presence. She's not all powerful. She can't control the weather, unfortunately. It's just chance. So. Weather in Chult. So we're back to rain and thunder. All right, yeah. She leads you through the city streets, past upstairs, up what she calls Yokwazi Hill, and she'll say that, and we will label Yokwazi Hill. Like, she'll point out any place because she can tell you're not from here. And she will, as you guys make your way up the stairs, as you get to the peak of Yokwazi Hill, you go up these fine stairs, and it kind of breaks away from the city proper to a much finer stone, similar to that of what is in the Merchant's Ward. This is a little bit of a nicer, well-kept area. And she will point out, and it's easy enough to tell, this is some kind of arena that you guys are passing by. You can hear the cheers from inside. You see the many openings. There are people trying to sell tickets, trying to scalp tickets best they can. They got their paper. They're smacking like they're talking in Chultan, trying to sell what they can. And she will say, yes, this is the Grand Colosseum. I imagine that it's not a clever name. It is what it is. She says they host many events here in the Grand Colosseum. Many. This is like sort of under the rain, but like she's not exactly rushing too hard through it, just because she knows you're gonna get soaked whether you rush or not, and the place is it's too big. and she'll say, many people, the gladiators have made their names here. And she points up at one of the statues at the top of this Colosseum. And actually, I'm going to read out of the book like I should be for places like this. So it's number 20, and give the actual details of this thing so I don't miss out on anything like a fool. The Grand Colosseum does not have a description, so forget it. Anyway, damn it. So at the very top of the Colosseum, as it rings its way around, you see there are statues. She will point out a single statue, and she will. One sec. Let me find important people here. Here we go. Need to find the right name here. Ah, yes. Here we go. She said she'll look up. She says she points at a statue at the very top of this gladiatorial arena that has all these different statues of heroes. She says that is a King Offa, one of the merchant princes of this place. She is very strong, one of the best. When she fights, that's when you want to go to the arena. Any other time, it doesn't get better than a king. She says, I believe she is the merchant prince of weapons, shields, traveling gear. Those rain catchers you bought, that gold you spent, that will definitely go to her. She's quite wealthy, as are most merchant princes. No surprise. And she leads you past the Grand Colosseum, over this bridge, over the Red Bazaar, where you had run the other day, chasing after that thief. You can see the exact area where you ran and sort of where he got away to, and into the Hall of Gold. So the Hall of Gold, please have a description. Please help me.
There's a hall. It is of gold.
It is of gold. This magnificent structure is a temple to Joaquin, but residents call it the Hall of Gold for its shining golden roof and for Joaquin's focus on trade and wealth. Mount Sabasa, the mount that you are on right now, and I will highlight that because she would definitely have told you that, your guide. She'll explain everything to you that she can. Mount Sabasa is the highest point in the city. And when the sun is shining, light glinting off the temple roof can be seen for miles out to sea. Some city residents swear that the roof is sheathed in pure burnished gold, but that is yet to be proven. A wide stone bridge connects Mount Seba and the Grand Colosseum that you just came from. So as you get up to this thing, it's not shining quite as much. There's a lot of rain dripping off it, but it is a massive structure, by far the biggest structure, bigger than what was it called? The Golden Throne. Bigger than Golden Throne. This is the biggest structure in the entire city, and you can see it's well maintained. As you enter past its massive doors that you imagine either painted in gold or made of gold, you walk your way into one of the fanciest places you've probably ever been in. And let me change up this this music, because we're gonna get that holy music going. Ugh. Where's my holy music? Here we go. So you thought the roofs in the Temple of Savros were high. These are almost twice that height. Is that playing? Can you guys hear something?
No.
Let me turn up my music because it might be really low. Oh yeah, you just gotta turn up your music a little bit. It's a little bit low. If you can't hear something, you should hear some holy music. Oh. It's very low. These ceilings are super high. You see wealthy merchants and you see the wealthy and the poor moving their way through here. The city itself has been, so far what you've seen, very equal in the classes. Like there's no place that, unless maybe the merchants the actual merchants ward where the wealthy go. Most other places are accessible to anyone of any class within the city walls. You step into the Hall of Gold and you see, I think, just this vast open chamber, and it's just like Grand Central Station, basically, for money. And there are these long, tall pillars that go all the way from the ceiling all the way down. And looking up, you see parts of the ceiling a large part of the ceiling is made of glass. Probably the very top of it, and you can see the rain pattering, and there's just that briefest of echo going through this massive building. The floors are marbled, which I don't know if you have seen a marble floor in here yet. They are marbled, pristine. This place is nice, and basically it holds to that circle, that like that entire chamber is a full circle. You're walking into a room that is essentially just this entire building opened up, and ringing the sides of the buildings are all these teller booths, all these different booths and multiple lines. Some booths are for taking out a loan, they're making an account. Like basically you are in a super bank. You are in the super bank of Forgotten Realms. It's huge, and every step you take makes just a sound on the floor, and it echoes up and up and up. Most conversations are had in whispers. There's a few like doors that probably lead to rooms with like private offices if somebody wants to, you know, like talk about the private bank shit. Ed doesn't know what that means or what it is, but it's happening. It's happening.
Business deals.
Special business deals are being made. And yeah, as you walk in, Iku will immediately, she says, well, I wish to give you some guidance in this place. He says, if you are looking to exchange your money for other types of money, the converters are over there, and she will point to a line. She says, if you're looking to store your money and open an account, you want to go over there. And if you're looking to take out a loan, it is over there. Be very careful. Joaquin remembers everything. And she says, just be careful. And then she will say, over here is where I'm going to be going. I'm going to donate that gold you guys gave me. I believe, am I missing from anyone? Did anyone not give me gold? I can't remember if I wrote down. Did anyone not give her money? I think we all did.
I gave her money.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you should all be out 30 gold for her, and she will say, it's like, I thank you again for paying me up front. It is hard to find individuals who can trust so well. And she says, I'll be right back. But please, do your business as you will. I will wait for you here at the entrance. Try not to get lost. It's just a circle, so you'll be fine. And she turns, she'll turn away and go towards a what looks to be a large like a bin, and it would literally say in Chultan. You guys can't read words, so you don't know what it says. So it says some words in Chultan on this bin, and she takes all the money that you gave her, and you can hear the coins as they rattle, and she just pours in, making probably more noise than anyone else as she just kind of like pours this money in this bin. And everybody kind of looks over in her direction, and then they look quickly away when they see it's her. So she's probably done this before. She's just pouring that 150 gold into this bin. What are you guys doing in the temple?
I'm gonna open a bank account.
All right, you're gonna open a bank account. That's you. We'll get to that. What? Who else?
I've got 5 gold. I'm not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
I need to convert some copper, and that's about it.
You're going into the conversion line, Riak?
Yeah, Riak's gonna open a bank account.
So we see Riak and Assyria in a line. That goes fairly quick. When you and then we see War in a line, who's just he's just big. He's bigger than everybody else there for sure. War, you do get eyes from a lot of people. There's a lot of people who look at you, probably maybe recognizing the lore behind your race, but not really saying anything, not trying to be rude. But you do get looks. Like, you've gotten looks this whole time. You have not seen another turtle.
Yeah.
But nobody seems to like freak out. So for the two opening a bank account, Styria and Riak, you're like one behind the other, so you would at least see this. The teller, you see a very probably a very thin individual, a woman, long silver hair, could be an elf, you're not sure, but long silver hair. I think a very, very dark skin. Very dark skin that just sort of contrasts perfectly. And she has these long black robes with these gold filigree inside, and they're like gilded black robes, and you see a symbol on them, and that is the symbol of Joaquin, which I will get it. I will have it. It's in this book and not as a handout like it should be. Joaquin. This gold piece. You see, yeah, it has this, what looks like a gold piece kind of embroidered on there. And I think you can recognize that this is a priest for sure, of sorts. And she will, and I think she will bow as you guys, she like bows for each person before you, and she says some words in Chultan that you're not sure. And when she sees you, she converts over to just seeing. I think she prejudges you, Asteria, for the color of your skin, which might be rude, and she will immediately switch to common, and she will say, "Joaquin's blessings with you. Welcome to his temple." And she'll say, "What graces do you wish to receive from his lordship, Master of Gold?"
I wish for him to store some of my money for me.
Excellent. Your confession has been heard. And she'll say, "That will be customary." And she's like looking over here and she says, "A 5 silver donation to his lordship." And you hand it over? Yep. All right, you hand it over. And she's like, "Congratulations. Your account is open. Welcome to the house of Joaquin. His arms are open wide and welcome all commerce to you, my friend. Or rather, my sister." And she'll then say, "Would you like to deposit anything today in your holy bank account?"
I would like to deposit 15 gold, 40
His arms are always
silver,
open, and so is his coin purse.
and 20 copper.
And all right, so I would like you to so that is technically not on you. I would like you to write somewhere where that is on like a piece of your character sheet, like a bio or something, to remember, so that you don't forget. So that way you can minus it and minus the weight. So just write down what you're putting in here. Like I would put it in allies somewhere, that allies box that no one uses for anything. Put it in that box and just on the bio page and just say like, Temple of Joaquin, bank account, this much money. So as you give that to her, she's like, "Thank you for entrusting your well-earned currency with Joaquin. He will keep it safe and he will bring you profit." And she says, "Good graces go with you in all your endeavors." And she sends that your interaction's done. You've opened a bank account with good old Joaquin.
I don't like that he says "good old." That doesn't make me feel good.
Ria, we'll skip over to War then when we go back and forth, because I know War's in his own special line. War.
Yeah.
You come over and you see a male, also in priestly garb, similar to how I described before. White hair, but not long, all shaved, dark skin. You think maybe elven, you're not sure, but it's not like. Yeah, it's dark skin. I'm not gonna describe it right now. And he'll look to you and he'll say, "Welcome to the Temple of Joaquin. Says you have come to exchange gold for something, yes?"
Yes.
He says, "A donation must be given. For this, a small percentage of what you are converting.
That
Percentage.
works well.
For the service given upon you by his lordship Joaquin. Do you have an account with us?"
I do not.
Says, "Oh, would you like one?"
Not at the moment.
Says, "Are you sure?" And he pulls out a pamphlet and he looks and he says, "If you get an account right now with me, I can give you 25% off the base price."
How much is the base price?
Jehovah's Witnesses.
5 silver pieces. This, I believe, would bring you down to a simple, let's see, 25%. What's 25% of 5 pieces, guys? He says the number. It is.
One would be 25 or 20%.
He'll break it down into copper.
Okay.
And it'll just be like, thinking of reconsidering? Oh, we just ask. It's a part of my job.
Maybe the next time I'm in.
Okay. Can I get your email address?
My what?
So he doesn't say that.
Yeah,
So yeah, he will say, and what would you like to have converted today?
I need. Essentially, I'm converting 440 copper into like 4 gold and
4 silver.
4 silver. Yeah, ish,
And,
and then minus the fees.
minus the fees.
Yeah.
All right. So if you get 4 gold, 4 silver, you lose 1% of that. Just take out a silver.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. So you drop a silver, and that's about it. I'm not gonna go into the copper pieces. break it down too far. Yeah, you make that conversion, and he will say as you finish, and he hands you over. You're converting it to gold.
The 4 into gold and 4 into silver. Yeah.
You will hand it over under his little teller desk, and he'll get that to you. And he'll say, "Joaquin's blessings go with you, and what commerce you engage in the future, may you have great luck." And
you as well. Thank you.
And he says, "Goodbye." And then we come to Ryak, moving up in the line. You get the whole same spiel, from top to bottom. And
the 25% off.
You don't get the 25% off. No. You have to you gotta go to the other desk to get that. They're not promoting that here. They're going for full price.
I look her up and down. And I say, "You wear a lot of gold."
And she says, "Yes, I adorn myself in the material that my god chooses to be greatest among those in this realm. Gold."
Has to be very uncomfortable.
Says, "No, actually, I'm quite comfortable here."
I'm gonna roll an insight.
You just told somebody the.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an insight. Let's see. Is that 24?
Oh, jeez.
She looks quite cool on the other side of that glass.
I don't believe you.
And she says, "Are you here to purchase something, to open a bank account, or?"
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, excellent. And she says, "That will be 5 silver pieces donated to his lordship, Master of Gold."
Oh yes. Here you go.
We go ahead and minus it, and
Yep.
then she say, "Excellent, your account is open. Welcome, brother."
Look at her. I am a female.
"My apologies. Welcome, sister." And she has a little bit of a smile on her face when she said that. But it goes away quickly. She goes back to serious mode. She says, "Would you like to deposit anything with us today?"
Yes. I just pour all these. I rummage through all these pockets, and I get 400 copper and 100 silver. All
Are
of
you
it.
sure you did not want to see the currency converter first?
No. I just dumped it on the.
Yeah, it like goes through the little slot under the glass, and you're just like shoving it under, and she's just like, "Great." And she's just, she'll take it, and she'll be like, "So it's just 400 copper you're depositing?"
400 copper and 111 silver.
Silver. All right, cool. So go ahead and take those off, but write them into your allies area. Like that, you have a bank account with the Temple of Joaquin and the Hall of Gold, and that you have that much money, and then minus it from your sheet, so you're not carrying around quite so much weight. And yeah, as you can, what's up?
No, I was talking to myself.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys complete and you meet back with Iku one at a time, I think she'll make the same joke with all of you. Feeling a little lighter?
Yes.
And she'll just do it over and over again as each person comes back.
What's the temple's name again? Temple of.
This is the Hall of Gold, the Temple of Joaquin, God of Commerce.
Cool.
You know, he's a god you guys would know of. He's of the Sword Coast for sure. As you've all returned, Iku clasp her hands together and say, "It looks as though we are ready. The weather is against us, but I always find that if you leave when it's rainy, it's good luck." Yeah, she will bring you guys, I think, out of the Hall of Gold, and we can get rid of this holy music. And turn down your shit if you turned it up, because I don't want to blow your ears out.
Good call.
Yeah. All right, I'm turning on the market ward now. Cool. All right, there we go. Oh, I need to turn down my own volume. I didn't follow my own advice. Great. Very cool. Very cool. Let me set these to map. These look better than that. Cool. Very good. So yeah, you guys continue out, and as you do, you cross this bridge. Iku kind of turns to you guys as you're still walking. Is there anything else you need within the city? I believe we are ready to go, friends.
I actually, there is something we might need.
What's that?
Do you know of any historians?
She says, historians? Within the city? There are some who would claim to be so, I believe, but none that I think can actually own that title. She says, there are some merchant princes that would fancy themselves historians. And she goes, Wakongo Otomu, one of them. And she says, the man thinks he knows everything. Trust me. And then she has like a little flash in her eyes, kind of similar to that first time you saw her. He doesn't.
I asked her. We are looking for.
She says, what? She says, best if you tell me what you're looking for, not within the city. She says, like I said before, there are many years here.
And just looks around.
And she said, and then she says, well, they are there. Trust me. The best to keep most secrets to the chest unless you know you are in a private area. And let me tell you, this is not a private area. And yeah, there are people still like walking around, people still taking this bridge for sure. And she says, you are looking for a historian. It would take some time to scrounge one up. You have to understand that Port Anzaru is a city of travel. People come in and they leave. They never stay long. And if they live here, they tend to work more in the let's see, more in the industries that have profit and knowledge. Unfortunately, in a lot of ways, takes a back seat. Most people just depend on Savros to tell them things that they don't know. Mostly of the future, but I don't know if you would be able to. Actually, no, there is a historian. What am I thinking? Back at the and she'll say back at the Kaya's House of Repose, there is a man. His name's Volothamp. A lot of what he says is exaggerated, but there is some merit in the words the man has. He's selling a book right now, I believe. And he turns over to Asteria and says, you saw it, and I did make a mention. Yes, he is a historian, a famous one, from what I know, of the Sword Coast. Says that book of his is quite thick. He claims that he apparently, I heard one of his readings last night, he claims that he has information on rare monsters, and some even common ones, and that he is offering the book for, it was expensive, 50 gold pieces. He says, could be of some use to you, could have information you need, and Kaya's House of Repose is just down there. We would just be stopping by.
Why? I look to War as we kind of had this conversation with Samuel Dren.
So,
I don't know. I can't afford that book.
Yeah.
Yes, that book is expensive.
Asteria does make a comment though that scholarly, Iku has obviously never been to Candlekeep if she doesn't think scholarly can make money.
Oh no, I don't think she, the way she said it, just so you don't misinterpret it, she's not saying that being scholarly can't make money. She's saying that the people of Port Anzaru and Port Anzaru itself doesn't see it as a wealthy way of going, basically, a wealthy industry, not here at least.
I basically tell everyone that we probably don't need the Volos help. He's from the Sword Coast, so probably doesn't know much about Chult.
That's true.
He did say that he was a traveler and that he went to many places. Though Chult was one that I don't know if he ever said if he was here before. This could be his first time. I've never seen him. So what information he may have to offer might not pertain to Chult. A man of his expertise, I cannot see lasting long out in the jungle. My guess is he doesn't have any information in that book that would be super helpful, but he might know something, is what I'm saying. But again, I am ready to leave if you are. What do you guys think?
I'm ready to go.
To the jungle.
Same.
To the jungle it is. And she will lead you out to the gate through. I think she will choose the old gate. I think she says this is the best way to go. I will explain later. Best that we take this angle towards the jungle. Yeah, and she will lead you past the gate. You are let through, if anything, given eyes for a moment. But once Iku is spotted, they simply let you pass, as it is a new group that Iku's taking out, and they don't want to stop Jabal's business. And yeah, she will pass through here, past those same two ziggurats that you went past before. Now, I have a bit here that's good, that's possibly going to happen. So, Alexandria.
Uh-oh.
As we are leaving the city, and I'm going to change the music over to the old city, because this happens in the old city. Here we go. Old city. All right. The first thing I want you to do, Alexandria, is make a survival check, and then I'm going to tell you what's happening.
Okay. All right.
Pick one of those two.
No. This is targeted at her.
That's
so
great.
It's just her.
Oh.
You guys turn around at one moment, and Iku's talking to you, and Alexandria is not there. Alexandria, as you guys were moving forward through the old city, a crowd sort of hit you guys all at once. You tried to stick close by. The rest of your party members seem to have an easy time of it, but it's almost like this crowd was after you. It's weird. They they were just bumping into you, and there was a lot of like, "Oops, sorry" kind of thing in Chulton. But you were separated by this crowd. It kind of like pours in and out of these two ziggurats, looking like people just getting either done doing some sort of shopping in the ziggurats, or just some poor people trying to make their way into the city to do shopping in whatever markets are there. But you are thoroughly separated, and it's kind of like one of those push and tug things where you're kind of pulled, and you find yourself rolled back into an alleyway before you can kind of like, geez, there's so many people, and you're like trying to look out the edge of the alleyway, like this street is just packed, and you hear a voice from behind you as you're trying to find a way back into the street, back to pick up and pick up with your friends. A voice from behind you, very low, from the darkness. There's like nothing behind you. You just hear, "Hello." And you turn, I imagine, and you see a very well-shrouded individual, someone who looks like they're completely draped in light black armor and black cloth. And he will approach you non-threateningly. He doesn't look like he's drawn any weapons, but he approaches you to greet you. Do you do anything?
Hello, indeed. I seem to have stumbled in here. Is this your alleyway? I apologize if I've intruded.
He says, "No. I brought you here." And he says, "Listen, I want to keep this brief. I'm a very busy man. You look to be leaving the city. I don't know where you're going. I don't care. But I have a message for you. If you wish to steal something from Port Nyanzaru, best you be a little more careful next time. There are laws to many things in this place. Laws to even crime. If you do not do it right, you step on a name. I don't like when people step on my name." He says, "For now, you are fine. You may go once this crowd disperses. But when you return, if you wish to steal something again, either do it better or face the consequences. Am I clear?"
I suppose you are, but I do not know the name of which I have supposedly stolen from.
And he says, "No, not from me. There's a balance to this city. We take what we need. We give back where we can. The individual you stole from had already been thieved from before. What was taken did not belong to him, but what you took did. So, I will reiterate myself. If it happens again, know that there will be consequences to your actions. Am I clear?
Yes. Yes, you are clear.
This is good. Your friends are waiting for you at the end of the ziggurats. Be sure not to fall behind. And oh, one more thing before you go. Know that the beggar princes are always watching you. And he disappears into the darkness, and that crowd disperses.
I sigh and smile. Well, that is a relief, for they know I have nothing I have stolen on me any longer. And then I walk.
You walk. You are able to easily catch up. You guys, a sigh of relief. Whew, there she is. She just got a little lost. That crowd that hit you guys before just got a little thick. There she is. Perfectly fine. Do you say anything when you arrive, Elfing, or is it just like, all right, let's keep going?
Valoria.
Or not Elfing, sorry. Valoria. I grabbed the wrong token. Valoria, when you walk back, do you say?
Oh, no.
All right, yeah, it just looks like you got lost, and Iku will just shout back, make sure to keep up. The jungle will not be so forgiving. And, yeah, just to tease you. You pass the Executioner's Run, which looks like it's had its fun for the day. Rain is still pouring down. It's a little bit lighter. Like I said, it was kind of going in and out. So I will bump on some rain, but welcome to the jungle, my friends. That's where we're going today.
We got fun and games.
We got fun and games. Hell yeah. So let me get the weather, because it's definitely raining and thundering. And let's move over to the coveted player's map of Chult.
Oh man,
we're moving
I'm
into
way
X
too zoomed
mode.
out on.
9. We are moving in.
Look at all them grids.
That was the last Port Nyanzara random encounter that you just ran into, Kyle. So that's my random encounter for today. Gotcha, guys. And yeah, this red square will be us. This will be where we're starting. This is Port Nyanzara.
Do we know what the X is?
The X, where at? Point at X.
Red X.
The red X. So you know that is where, when you weren't looking, Wakanga marked where he believes Vorn to be.
Vorn's being the construct.
The construct, yep. The construct. All right.
I'm guessing these cross symbols with pick and shovel are mines.
Yes, those are mine. So we're stepping out of like character knowledge real quick, but just for a moment, we're going into game knowledge, video game knowledge. Those are definitely, yeah, those are picks. I think with enough just talking a little bit to Iku, just going out because she's giving you the general lowdown, and just so that you get to know what this is, because you guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
She says that is undead territory. That is where the hordes of undead tend to gather. That's where they are, and for the most part, she will try to make sure we avoid those places.
Yes.
Is the coloring topo?
The coloring is where it gets worse. So
Oh, okay, so the
That's
coloring is the undead zone.
Undead
coloring-
concentration.
undead concentration, yeah. She will try to keep from here. So you guys have a couple of things on this map that are already marked, and this is stuff that's literally on the map of that was given to you. You see that Mesro, a place that was mentioned, was marked on Samuel's map. Yeah, everything you see here should be able to see. Same with the other city that Samuel mentioned. Probably why he mentioned them, because he knows You know, he mapped them. He knows where this one is. Mbala, another city that's supposed to be on the top of a plateau. Yeah, everything you see here is something that is written on here. Your knowledge of it is going to be very limited. Ryok would maybe be one of the only people who can try to figure out what something is, or Iku, obviously. All right, friends. Here we start on the fucking grid. I'm excited for this part. I've been waiting for this. So,
Same.
this is, I have a list of how our days are going to go, and I'm going to expose that list to you guys so that you can see what I can see so that we can get through this as expediting it as quickly as possible. So, I'm going to dip into my Dungeon Masters folder. I'm going to bust out the traveling routine. I'm going to show it to you guys. So here we go. This is the traveling routine. At the beginning of every day, each of these hexes, you can move one hex, a single hex a day on foot. If you choose to go fast, you can do, if you choose a fast pace, you can do 2 hexes, but you roll on a d4, and if you roll below, if you roll 1 or 2, you don't get that extra space, and you take negatives to a lot of things, and also exhaustion, like it's not good. You can go slow, which means that you get to stealth. But you roll a d4, and if you roll that 1 or 2, you don't move at all. So going fast and going slow are risky. Going normal, you will always just go that 1 a day. It's quite safe, but it's up to you guys if you want to use that. There, it moves differently. I believe you can move, and don't quote me, I'll have to look it up again. I believe you can move 3 tiles if you choose a river. And you are on a canoe. I believe a canoe can go 3 tiles. I have to look it up to confirm, but yeah. So, when we start our day, we will first roll the weather table, and then I'm going to ask for your marching order, and you better believe it, I have it ready. It's right fucking here. So this is the legit, oh, I have somebody, just a sec, let me get a Valoria, or Sasha Alexandria. So this is it, let me get Iku on here. Make sure Iku has a place. So this is how I'm going to grab your tokens when you get in a random encounter. I'm going to place them exactly how they're supposed to be, and it does have northwest, east, south on there, so you can get the accurate bit there. Let me grab good old Iku. Copy. Iku in the marching order. So we'll set that up in a minute after I go through the rest because I do want to know your marching order. We will assign roles. There are different roles that you can take. Navigation is going to be the role of both Iku and one person who wants to help her or have Iku help them. Mapping is going to be up to whoever wants to actually do mapping. Foraging is up to those who want to forage. I have an actual a button for that. Note that if you do not have a mapper, you do not reveal hexes. So if you want to reveal hexes on that other map, someone has to be mapping. Scouting is different from navigation. Scouting is the person looking out for. This is a little bit of homebrew. I don't think it's in 5e, but I liked it because I don't think navigation gets it. So if you want to be a scout, you are rolling a perception check to see if basically keep an eye out for the party so that they don't get surprised or anything. So you can be doing any of these, or you could be idling, or you could be helping with one of these. And helping would just better the role. So you could help with scouting, help with foraging, and then navigation. Iku will always be involved in navigation unless somebody else thinks they're better than Iku, but that's what she's here for.
Can we use an insight check to gather how good she is at this check?
Yeah. Make an insight check for me right now, but only one person can make this. I don't want everyone rolling a group roll.
Well,
one person who wants to roll it.
I did say we, so anybody who's good at insight is welcome to make that roll.
Yeah. Whoever is good at it can try to tell how good she is.
I have a 5 to my insight.
Okay, I've only got 4.
Let our cleric do it.
Alright, you want to make that insight check?
Alright.
Alright.
That was not so good.
You have no idea. She seems super confident though, and it's hard not to. I'm gonna base this off feelings. It's just hard not to feel like she knows what she's doing. Like I said, it's with most insight checks on Iku. Either she's the best liar you've ever heard of, or she's probably straight with you. All right.
Or she's casting spells on everybody.
Or she's casting spells. You don't know what kind of guides you picked.
Oh, I trust her. Don't worry.
Okay. And then I'm going to ask the party their travel pace. I talked about it at the beginning. I should have waited, but I got excited. So we'll roll group stealth if you decide to go slow. So travel pace is important. And then we're going to roll navigation. This is something that happens on my side of the thing. You guys don't get to see this. We'll be picking somebody. We'll be picking the 2 people who are deciding to navigate, or the 1 person if you don't want to provide a help check to the navigator. I'm going to be rolling, adding the bonuses, and that's going to determine if you're lost. And if you're lost, I roll on a d6 to see which way you actually went. And until you succeed at a navigation roll, you won't know where you are. So there could be situations where you think you're going one way and you're not. And then I will apply, after we do all of that, I will apply our morning encounter if we get one, and our afternoon encounter if we get one. So after we've done 1 through 6, that's like our setup, and then we fire. So we fire off, that means we apply a counter in the morning and counter in the afternoon if they happen, and then we decide to camp. This is where we resolve foraging or any other extra tasks that we were doing. And then with 9, we will check on food and water for everyone, make sure everyone gets enough food and enough drink. That will include, I'm going to edit it right now. I'm going to edit it right now. Insect repellent. So insect repel. So that is going to be on there as well, insect repellent. And then I'm going to apply a night encounter. If we roll, basically I roll to see if the encounters even happened for morning, noon, and night. So if a night encounter does happen, I'm going to roll on a d4 or a d5 or a d6, basically to d6 for this party to see who is on watch when that happens. And then I will apply XP. XP gets applied at the end of the day, so does leveling. You do not automatically bing in the middle of doing things. You have to actually take your long rest. So this is our traveling routine. This is how we're going to do it. So because you are midday getting to the later day, I'm going to say that you do camp out in Chult. And I'm going to move us back over from our marching order, because I'm not going to ask for a marching order until the beginning of the day. But I think you spend the rest of the day, you're still in the Port Nyanzaru Square, because I think that's the best way to start off, because I don't really want to give you half day. I want us to always be working in day to day to day. So you're still in the Port Nyanzaru Square, and you'll make camp. What's up?
We should buy
Or should we roll a d4 like a stealth check?
What do you mean? What's up?
Or should we roll a d4 like the stealth check to see if we make a move this round?
Oh, make a move this. Oh, well, it matters what pace you guys were going out of Port Nyanzaru. I would say, because for simple game stuff, and I know we're at. I want to start us off at like a beginning day. I don't want to deal with, because we're at a later. We're well past noon, well past half the day. I don't think there's enough day left to actually travel far enough from Port Nyanzaru to constitute as something A, dangerous, or B, worth rolling. So I think we're going to start our rolls right at our next day. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
What we could do is like essentially that night being like camping or stuff is like Iku showing us how to like set up a good camp or something.
Yeah, she teaches you guys how to set it up, how to set up a perimeter in a good space. She does have good survival skills in that case, so she helps you guys set up your first day. And I think it's still raining, but I'm going to turn on our let's see. That's weather of Chult. What's game tracks? Do I have a camp yet? Ooh, I might have it right here. Travel cautious.
Shit. I should have just sold my bedroll.
You forgot something.
I'm a turtle. I know. Shell.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you can hand it over to someone.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh man, camp ambience. I just have to look up a camp ambience because I guess I didn't have one.
Or you just...
I mean, someone may end up needing it for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, we didn't get tents.
No, you don't have tents.
Nope.
I mean, we can turn around and get them, but I think Ika will say, you will never stop turning around for Port Nyanzaru if you have that attitude.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you right now, it's better to be open and aware in the jungle. Sure, it's uncomfortable, you're being rained upon, but you will not be stepped on. So that is something to note. she's like, if you're willing to take to be exhausted when you come back to us, you can run your way back to Port Nyanzaru. It shouldn't be hard, and then come back this way with a tent if you want.
No.
You could fly actually, but it is storming.
That was Dustin. That wasn't Riak.
Okay.
Riak is a bird.
Yeah, I know.
Riak is a bird?
You can do like the wing over yourself thing and just have a little bit of shelter.
All right, so let me see. Jungles of Chult should have a night.
How do we?
I'm totally just gonna sleep underneath the rain catcher.
I was actually gonna say we could essentially just prop up the canoe and use it as a.
Oh yeah.
You could, yeah, you totally could.
Underneath, yeah.
I think Ego would suggest that. You guys can set that up. So you are in your first night out in the jungles of Chult. You're far away from Port Nyanzaru, but I think you can see it's light because you guys are moving uphill right now. It's all uphill heading in this direction. Water flows down. And I think you've made that camp exactly how you guys described. If you want to note anything else, you totally can as we experience it. Because I think we're getting a role play moment. Because I think you got to talk to Iku about what the plan is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are out in the. I think you're not in the jungle proper yet. Is the thing. I would say that you are close to the jungle, but you are still making your way up, and it is like a lot of foliage. But the jungle proper, like the thick jungle, the real stuff. She says you're not even there yet. And like, so there's plenty of foliage around. You're in the outskirts of a jungle. So yeah, she sits down at the campfire that was built, which I believe enough of you probably are able to. I won't require any rolls for night number 1, but I think you guys are able to gather some firewood. Maybe wait, oh yeah, you guys sold torches. Enough firewood to make a camp here. And as she sort of just sits down, and I would like everyone now to, before we start, spend a ration. And Riak, spend a spell slot for your Create Water. Are you doing that?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you can drink and eat. I just want to make sure everybody has done that because this is day 1 and you haven't eaten or drank even when you left Port Nyanzaru.
This is the point where I interrupt you really quickly.
That's okay.
And save everybody from having to do that.
What's
because
up?
they don't have to.
Oh, they don't have to.
No, I am a wanderer. I have spent my time feeding myself on the road, and I can feed up to 5 people as long as there's plentiful water, berries, and foliage and wildlife around. So,
what skill is this?
It's from the Outlander, the Wanderer trait.
Oh, it's from the Outlander trait. Let me...
It's on my character sheet.
I know, I totally know. Let me just roll it to see if that requires any kind of foraging or anything.
It doesn't say that it does in the description.
It shouldn't. I just want to see what's in the book. Just because I want to know, because that's pretty sweet. I want to see it.
Up to 5 people, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see, because that is everybody but 1. But I want to see Outlander.
Well, I assume Iku can feed herself.
Oh yeah, she totally can. I'm wondering who's marking stuff and who's not, basically. Outlander, you're Wanderer. You have excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. So the land will be dependent on that. And right now you're on coast, so yes, you can. So that is land dependent, and there are different land types here. So the coast, I think, is enough to provide you any kind of food. You can find plenty of small Jurassic game that's feeding on fish. So it'd be easy enough to describe to me what you think you would get at a coast setting. What you bring back to the table.
In a coastal setting, might have less luck with the water.
Okay.
But we'd be finding lots of shellfish, things that were hanging around after the tide went out. Like you said, a lot of small Jurassic game that might be poaching the same things that we're also grabbing, but we can hunt them as well.
Okay.
And about halfway through our day, I was able to down a mighty T-Rex, which we carved up for food and salted the meat while also walking. So we all have about 20 additional rations.
As Alexandria comes back with a mighty T-Rex, a little baby,
A little copy.
a little baby copy me, and so like puts it down. Yeah, so you have it. Like what I imagine was in your mind, amazing. Yeah, it's small, but it's enough to feed 5 people. The morsels that are in there. Iku, when you offer, if you even offer anything to Iku, you'll notice she doesn't eat anything. She doesn't eat anything. She seems content. She might just be holding off for later, but maybe in the morning, or maybe she ate when you guys weren't there, or didn't notice, like maybe before she left Kai's house or post. So she doesn't seem hungry. She's sitting around this campfire with you guys, and she'll say, "So, now that we are far enough away, tell me, what is your story?" There's always a story with every group. Don't lie to me. It says, where do you come from? Who are you? Let's get to know each other before we decide exactly where we're going. It's just kind of like offering that up to anybody who wishes to take that.
I can if y'all want. I've just been talking a lot, so I'm giving y'all an opportunity.
It's all good.
Velphine just kind of sits back, crosses her legs and her arms, and kind of waits for someone else to speak up at this point. She sneaks a book out of the cloak, or out of the clothing. Slowly starts to turn the pages without even looking down at it.
Yeah, I think because there is an awkward silence, I think she will say something. I think she will say, "Understandable. I imagine that we all have our secrets, things to keep tight to the chest, and we might not feel comfortable. I mean, I just met you within the past 2 days, but it is no matter. For another camp, I imagine there will be many, and the jungle has a way of opening people up."
Asteria goes into the whole detailed stuff of what she's already told the party, but to her.
Okay. Yeah, you just tell her sort of your life story a little bit, where you're from, what you're doing.
Yeah.
How you got here? Yeah, she's looking to just say, interesting, an entire keep that holds the knowledge. Dangerous, I would imagine, if something were to happen to it. But you say it's well guarded, so I trust you. You, the Northerners, you work quite in mysterious ways. And does anybody else open up to her anything? Or even explain. I mean, she's offering that as a beginning table, or even just to explain what's going on. Go ahead, War.
Word say, we told you before that we were searching for the Soulmonger.
Says, yes, you did that within the House of Repose. Kind of a dangerous thing to do, but don't worry. I made sure that everyone who was in that tavern that night was reputable. So I believe this mission of yours is kept secret.
Yes. We put in for a divination a day ago. And
to the Temple of Savros. What did it show you?
It showed us the past.
Nothing terribly important, really. Just where we need to go.
Just where you need to go? So it was a good divination. The past, you say? I have never known Savros to show that gift to any but his highest priests.
Yes, it was apparently odd.
What did this vision show you?
A place.
The Soulmonger?
We don't know. We don't know what it actually is.
A place. Where? Describe it to me.
Since it was in the past, it was an old city. Very large, larger than Port Nyanzaru, but it was sunken into the ground. There were cliffs all around it.
Quite large. And she says cliffs sunken all the way around the edges. Did the rest of you see this?
More or less.
We also saw a giant floating obelisk.
She's like playing with her fingers a little bit while you talk about this, because she looks like she's really thinking, and she says, "An obelisk," you say. A menacing thing. He says, "What else did you see in the vision?" Anything of note? An obelisk in a city?
No, everything was of note. The thing with the staff.
Thing with a staff.
He's like a man, but he was dead.
Since you guys did already have to describe this once.
It's what they call a lich.
I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know that, Rhea.
Oh, no. Yeah, he says 8 intelligence. Yeah, I couldn't know. Trying to. No,
unless you want to make an Arcana check right now to see if you can tell, if you can think about what. That would be history, actually. You have to beat a history check to know what that was, because you're unsure. It was an undead thing, an undead humanoid. Do you want to make a history check? Yeah, if you guys want to make a history check to know.
Totally evil. We got that much.
It's individual.
Evil undead.
We can wait till it comes up. Yeah, it's if you want to save your history roll.
I'm not rolling. Ward wouldn't even know.
Yeah, if you want to save your history roll, you can wait until it becomes perfectly relevant. But she will look and she'll say, "Oh yeah, what else can you get? 11, still nothing. If the thing was an undead spellcaster, unnatural. Yeah, she will. She'll say, "Tell me," and I know this sounds like it was a disturbing vision. Can any of you describe it to me as it happened, scene for scene? And I won't make you guys do it if you don't want to, but you can. Somebody can just step up and say, "I tell her everything," just so I don't have you repeating this conversation.
Sure, I'll tell her everything. I trust her more than most of the party.
Yeah, you detail the disturbing experience you had with this undead, just horror that walked from the mist after slaying hundreds. And she seems disturbed. She says, "What you are dealing with, what this thing you saw, I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Lichdom. Have any of you, does that ring a bell for anyone here?"
No.
And we can make those history checks now if you want, if you didn't make one already.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not even rolling.
I am a historian.
No, Jacob, you have to roll because you're gonna roll like a 20.
You don't have to.
No, Ward doesn't know.
Could I make that check based on religion? Would liches ever come into religious texts?
I'm going to say for this instance, no, because they're not divine or demon. They're something else. This is more arcane knowledge than anything. So I would say it'd have to be history.
The reason I ask is because I'm sure more than a few religions would see an affront to the cycle of life and death as, like, something that stands against one's gods. But I'll roll for history.
I like that. I like that so if you want to roll something like this, what Kyle's doing here is good. If you want to try to convince me something roleplay wise, like if you have a good reason, explain it like this, because I like that. So go ahead and roll religion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense to me. Unfortunately, there are many evils in religious texts, and this one doesn't line up perfectly. There's bits, but not completely. But yeah, Asteria, you know exactly what she's talking about, and I think it's something you were rattling in your head but hadn't confirmed. And Iku saying it, I think, would give you a bit of a jolt of excitement, maybe. Just like, yeah, that's what I thought, kind of thing. And she'll just say, "It is a horrible curse. Self-inflicted. Men wish to live forever. They will go through any means to do so. A lich was unfortunately once mortal, humanoid. They chose a path, a dark one, to sacrifice their humanity for power and immortality. At a price far too great for me to take. That kind of curse consumes you. There is not much left of what you once were. You become something different. It's horrific." And she says, "What you saw, I believe, with that kind of magical power must have been one. They are rare in this far south, but there's a country known as Thay, which you may have heard of before, that houses liches, even allows them to rule in places. A twisted government that runs on those with magical power. It's a bad place. It says most of these creatures are not allowed to live very long. They are slain quickly if they do not act intelligently, and they are smart, wicked smart. It says what you're describing is a very powerful one. One that I do not know if it's ever seen the likes of this world. That's quite strong. But maybe what you saw, maybe your description could be exaggerated. I'm not trying to discredit you, but I want to believe that something like that does not exist or never did if this was the past. She says the city, you say it was sunken, large. And then she says something you haven't mentioned. Does it have a large thoroughfare, a street?
A large what?
Did it?
Probably.
A thoroughfare, a street. If you remember before, I did describe that there was a thoroughfare, the thing that the lich landed on.
Yep.
That main street. So she would ask that, and I imagine all of you together would confirm, like, yes,
Yes.
kind of thing, yeah. Because that's a piece, like, it looks like she knows something. She'll say, I've heard of this place. Don't know where it is. Its name is Omu. A lost city. A capital of this continent, this peninsula, back when it was an island, long before Mesro was even a capital. Back when Chult had empresses and emperors. And it was led by divine right. But it is interesting you describe it the way you have. It is uncannily. I have no doubt in my mind that's what you saw. Omu is a lost city, though. It has been lost for a very long time. She says,
Would I know of anything of that name, Ed?
no, you can't even make a check. You don't know anything of that name. Teacher might, like I said before, but you have no knowledge. And she'd say, its location is completely lost. It is thought of as a fairy tale, something that maybe existed in the minds of Chultans, but never in truth. That history is gone, wiped away by the Omnian Empire, and then what information they took in was wiped away by the Revolution. That information is gone, I'm afraid. You are searching for a ghost. She says, but though I do not know the location, I do know someone who would. She says, there is an oracle in Chult. It is a journey that is far and difficult. But the oracle is said to hold divine power. And that it can answer almost any question. And if there was anyone in Chult who would know the location of the lost city of Omu, it would be the Oracle.
And where is she?
Says, you have a map, I have seen you use it. Bring it to me. And who has the map? That's important.
We hadn't decided who was the map maker yet.
Somebody has to be the map maker. We got to decide it now.
Does the map maker need a check?
A map maker doesn't need to make any checks. If you are map making, you just map make. You do it.
Guess I will map make since I have cartography tools.
You literally do. She will point on a map for a place for you to mark. She says, this is Oralunga. This is where the Oracle resides. And she will put it, on the wrong layer. I'm sorry. No, alright.
is also lost.
It's also lost. We should turn around. Goodbye. All right, here we go. All right. Did I actually send it to the right freaking layer? No. Okay, send it to the layer I want you to go to. There it is.
There we go.
She points here and she says, "It is quite a journey. If you need to find this city, you need to go here first. It's wandering the jungles, you will die. And if we are to get there, the River Social Star is our path."
And I pipe, Riak pipes up, and it says, we could also look into the other camps where the previous expedition went.
Yeah, she looks at the map and she says, "Ah, so this is where they stayed. This is an accurate map. You must have paid a lot for it." She says, "Yes, I do believe," and she points at Camp Righteous, and she says, "This is where those poor souls left. I tried to convince their commander to turn around. This was months ago, but he went anyway, dragging those people to their doom, I imagine. Fully armored, barely ready for what they were about to face, thinking that they will kill undead and prove to their gods that good will always triumph over evil. Unfortunately, I believe if this map is accurate, they moved, probably because they were in over their heads. Camp Vengeance. This is where they are reported to be now. The Order of the Gauntlet, they call themselves. A faction from the north. I wanted to save them, I did. Do not know what their state is now.
Did you guide them there?
No. They refused to take a guide. They were using the River Social Star, and an individual, I don't remember his name, quite shady. Not sure why they allowed him to run with them. They are of the utmost law and order type, but this individual was their guide. They would not take me, but mostly because I stressed that the idea of making a camp in the middle of the jungle to try to fight the undead hordes was suicide. Anyone to think such a thing would be dooming themselves to death, an early one. No one can stop Rosnisi's hordes. They are endless.
Rosnisi?
She says, "Yes, you never heard the story of Rosnisi?"
I have not.
I believe it's pronounced Rosinsi. Some languages, I quicken the name. I don't care for his legacy. She says, "Rosinsi is a short story and a sad one. A protector of Mesro. He was a paladin at one time, but he was corrupted. He rose an army of undead unlike any risen before. He sieged his city that he once protected. But after the spell plague, Mesro was destroyed. They repelled Rosnisi once, and it was shortly after that that the city fell. After it was gone, he lost his divine power. He lost control of the Horde and fell into legend, and hopefully died. But his undead hordes remain. That magic still holds. The power of Ubtao is great. Even a dead god can do quite a bit."
What do you know of Ubtao?
Ubtao. Says, once a god of Chult, and said to be a primordial, a creator of the earth. He made Chult. And within it, he made his people, the Chultans, and his chosen children, the dinosaurs. Says, there was a lot of things that happened in Mesro, a lot of information that unfortunately is lost to time, but something happened before the spell plague. And Ubtao left. He abandoned his people. Mostly because they had abandoned his doctrine. To follow the mazes. To make your way through life. Taking the path of least resistance. finding your way to the end. They decided instead to war among each other, and he left Chult and his people, and is presumed dead. There are no priests of Chult. You will find shrines to him in ruin, but they are abandoned. They might as well just be stone, and his name is just a name.
It's interesting. I've heard his name before. I don't know much about Chultan history, but I've heard stories of Ubtao from my mother.
Yes? What form did he take in your stories?
He was a turtle
Yes.
of our ancestry.
Says, I said before to you that your race... she was the one who told you that you were from here, right?
I think that was Wakanga.
Wakanga. Oh, she hasn't. Okay, well, this is something she would know. She would say, I did not want to impose. I did find great interest when I saw you for the first time. Turtles have not walked this far north in some time, though I have not seen one. I have not seen one ever. I have only heard of them. Says, I do believe there are stories of your people existing in Chult. Though I'm not sure where. But it is magnificent that you are here. If only there were more. This is the lost races of Chult. It would be great to see something like that come back.
Yes, I noticed when we left Port Nyanzaru that it began to smell more nostalgic to me.
She says, like you are returning home. And she says, it is good. It is good to think of Chult as a home rather than a prison, as many do. It is a beautiful place. You just have to know when it's going to bite you, and when to receipt your hand. And yes, I love this place. She says, well, I think we know the journey that we have ahead of us. If this city, this lost Omu, is what you are looking for, Oralunga is where we must go. The River Soshin Star will take us to Camp Vengeance, and from there we must move on foot. I believe that is the best path, unless someone can suggest something better.
That looks like the best path.
Good.
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
He says, we will have to move somewhat through this coastal region and into the jungle to get to the river proper, but we should not take off around these cliffs. There are pirates, and if they were to see even just our small ship, they very well might impose a threat to us.
Yes.
We should wait until we get to the river when it's skinny enough not to allow ships.
Looks like there's, what, 7 days worth of sea travel?
Yeah, sea travel. I have to recheck, but yeah,
If you said it was 3.
I thought it was 2.
It might be 2. Does it say it on the canoe?
It
Find a
does.
special item. A canoe, yep, it can move at a maximum speed of 2 miles per hour. It's otherwise identical to a rowboat. So, canoe can be purchased in front of it, so it holds up to 6. Alright, so here's the thing. It can go that far, so I would say it can essentially go two squares a day, or
Okay.
2 hexes a day. I also forgot to mention that while you're in... No, I think it's always 1 hex, yeah, because even though this is coastal region, it's real rough. It can go 2 hexes, but note that it is going upstream. So
Oh, yeah.
there is upstream is it could be a problem because that might cause some issues. So I'm probably going to be rolling a d4 for possible loss of that second hex, just because I believe that I will reread them, but I believe those are the rules for going upstream in this adventure. Because upstream, downstream is important. Yeah, and I think she suggests that to be the plan, and she says, "Get a good night's rest. Hopefully, this rain will let up in the morning, and we can get on our way through the coastline and the shrubbery."
I guess for the first time, you'd all see War going into his shell, and he props his shield up right over top of like where his head area is, and then just like is in the shell.
Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. So we're ending it here, and I think it's perfect because we'll start up at the end of the month right on this map because it is 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we'll start up with our first rolls for travel next time. But I want a quick description of what we all look like at the campfire, how we're setting up for the night. So War went Asteria. What's your setup like?
I guess I'm gonna set up underneath our rain catcher.
Yeah.
And probably have a little light going at first for reading.
Nice. Very nice. All right, some light reading. You get a couple drops on the page at times. You're like, you gotta like really pull it in. I love that. Alexandria.
Probably going to find the crook of a tree root that she can prop herself up against and curl up around and put her head on some mossy wood. That's like a nature's pillow kind of thing.
Excellent. A little bit of canopy that is offered here because there are still trees. They're just very sparse. Does stop some of the rain, and it does lighten up as the night goes on, I think. So it's not so bad. That's where Alexandria is. Cool. Riak.
I'm probably, just to get out of the rain, I'm probably going to make my camp underneath the canoe.
Okay.
But it's probably, I almost think it's like maybe when it's propped up at an angle, maybe with probably gives a
yeah. It could have like there's an oar in it, and it's just kind of hanging there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a couple branches and arrange it in a little perch, and I perch on the stick.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Valthine.
Probably gonna find another tree and curl up underneath it. But kind of has her arms wrapped around a book against her chest. It's not a good idea to open the book in the wet.
Easy enough. All right, cool. I like that. No, you can. Yeah. So you all begin to sleep. Iku takes first watch, and you would switch as you go through, covering at least 4 shifts covers the sleep. And yeah, you guys, we fade out our shot in a peaceful way, a contrast to our last episode of this as it kind of zooms past the foliage, past that light canopy as we see the light from your fire. Which I believe at some point Iku said, like, no, it's okay to have a fire here, but deeper in, do not light a fire. And you begin just zooming, it just zooms out as we see that little light in the jungle. It's smaller and smaller as the camera turns toward the south and looks out over the vast jungle that is before you. And there is a darkness rising in the south. Menacing, and that's where we close. And that's the episode.
Cool.
Guys,
You're good.
We're in the jungle.
You're in the jungle.